medium gauge. I got some 11s and I got some 12s, but I didn't get any 13s. I'll fix them. And if you do run into problems, call me and I'll mail them up to you. We love seeing you.
I just think getting feel I never show her.
And you met Marshall,
Yeah.
and he'll take care of you.
Yeah, yeah, I'll be back.
We have somebody every day of the week come in.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Gotta apologize to somebody. I've been saving a set of these to put on my Alvarez. I spotted my Alvarez across the center. Way past that. So I immediately went home and put new ones on, and then I was impressed at how much of a difference it makes. So,
Yeah, they're great strings. Top notch. It's kind of a cool story. We have those, the super bass strings, the blockers, electric guitar, and then the sessions, which are a regular acoustic line, are owned by the Everly Brother family. And that's where they invested their money, so their family would have ongoing business. And they are maybe the only major string that actually has their own manufacturing. Dean Ariel, Ernie Ball, all those people use the same one. They have their own.
and that was these two?
Yeah, and Clear Tone is their upper line.
Okay. Well,
And we have them for electric.
me and Phil and who's the other Phil and
Well, yeah, throw some on your electric one of these days.
Okay.
All right, see you later. Yep.
Robin's dad.
What?
Remember?
Oh yeah. He's the guy I stock medium gauge clear tones for.
Oh, nice.
But I only have one set, so I told him I'd get more.
Nice. Oh, okay. Is that for me?
Yep.
Ace is high. All right, here we are. Time. Let's see. I wonder what I got here. I got some mail. Hello, Charlie. I'm glad you are here. Hello, my knees hurt. Thank you for dropping in. Let's see what came in the mail. I got to be careful because I have no idea what this might be. Somebody sent me a... The mailman just showed up. I'm going to be careful with the package. I don't want to show everybody what keep his personal information. Look at that. Oh, dude. My knees hurt. I have needed one of these on my desk at home for a very long time. So I want to thank My Knees Hurt very much for this kind gift. What a thoughtful, wonderful gift. I'm going to try not to get teary-eyed now. I'm joking. Dude, thank you so much. That's very cool. Let's see how it works. I got a pocket full of picks here. Well, at least I got two. I never leave home without them. They fit nicely. Let me get the camera down here in the business end of things. Very cool. And I have a special place on at my home where I keep stuff like this. So this will definitely hang on my wall for many years to come. My niece hurt, thank you very much. This is a very, very thoughtful gift, and I am grateful to you. Beautiful, very cool. Look at all the detail in there. Wow, dude. So I need to keep these picks in my pocket. So thank you very much, and I'll try and I'll try to be sure to share that again later on. What a thoughtful thing to do. Okay, so the 12 string that you all saw me work on, Charlie, check this out, brother. Now you were worried. Device properties, device webcam. Okay, there we go. I think it's started working again. Video capture device. Let me deactivate it and activate it one more time. There we go. Charlie, you were worried about the little chisel work that I did on that. It vanished. You see that? Completely invisible. Hello.
Hi, I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
No, I'm just doing a live stream. That's all right. You've got my undivided attention.
I'm just looking for like a sub for my car.
A sub, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, we've got a lot of options with regard to subwoofers. Are you wanting something that's going to blow up the neighborhood type?
A little bit.
Boom,
maybe.
boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have like, because I just got a car, or a new car, and it already has like a setup for everything. Like the chords are already set up, so I just need something like to just put in.
Okay.
And, right now I'm more pricing than anything.
Okay. Typically, okay, we can do something. Again, with pricing, you can spend $400 or $4,000 if you really wanted to.
Easy.
So the gamut, it runs a gamut. And let me just let my friends know, hey, I'll be back, you guys. I'm going to help this young lady. I'm going to mute my microphone real quick. Let me do, I think I can do this. Yeah, should be able to. No, here we go. All right,
That's
here
all I
we
was
go.
thinking of, have you guys
So
put it in.
we're gonna check our
That's
string
one thing
action
as
on
well
this
that
thing.
there's already,
And Charlie, don't worry about the chisel
Somebody had
work
one
that
of
I did on this.
Yeah.
It's
check their
it's
work, but I don't
perfect. It
always
literally
see that.
vanished.
Yeah,
So
that's
again,
So what I usually
So,
do anyway is
we're
I
at,
just charge you for the materials, you know, as far as like a sub and the
6.5.
I would do it
Oops, let me
every
get
time
down
stuff.
here where you can get my camera guy in line.
rock
We're
lid
at
on the bottom down there.
Okay.
That thing is thumpalicious.
6.5,
Yeah, 'cause we
64ths,
were debating on that
and
one or that one.
I would do the bottom one
The
down
bottom
there.
one?
5
Okay.
64ths, and I want
it's got
4
all, it's not that
64ths
much bigger than the
and 5
yeah.
64ths
but
on
it's
that.
got so much more.
Which
It's just
I did measure this prior to starting this stream, so I need to remove
Yeah, that's what I was telling him. Is
4 64ths off of this side of the saddle, and I want to go 2 64ths. You can call it much smaller, 1/16 of an inch, and what does that work out to? 1/32 of an inch on this side. So one of the things I love about 12 strings is because they have so many strings on them, and they're so beautifully loud instruments. Let's see. My string winder. There we go. So we're gonna just loosen all the strings, all 12 strings. Yep, got to do it. I love 12 strings. They're so fun to do this kind of stuff on because you got to tune them all 12 strings to get this. And you know, there's not really. I mean, unless you know of a better way to do this, let me know. With brand new strings, a different string gauge, and all of that. I would love to hear your thoughts on what else I might do. And I'm putting the capo here to keep the strings wound on here, but I also don't cut the strings off for this reason, because if I do this, I don't want the string coming off the machine head and having to rewind it. That becomes a real pain in the neck, and it's inefficient really to do that. So, and I know that on this guitar I'm going to have to do some work on the nut. But we'll do that last, and that's a subject of great debate. You know, I think some guys feel like you should do the nut work first. I disagree. But again, it's a subject of great debate. So I've gotten half of them done. If this was a 6 string, I'd be done already with getting the strings loosened anyway. Boy, I got my thumb pretty good the other day. I'm just going to take a little bit of tension off the rest of these. I did check the neck relief, and the neck relief is fine. My order of operations is neck relief, then string action at the 12th fret, then nut work, unless the nut is just insanely the neck that needs a bunch of work before the saddle. That's my operation. All right. The young lady was here wanting to put a new subwoofer in her car, and she's in really good hands. My journeyman also does car stereo installations and such here at our shop, and he's very good with that sort of activity. So I know enough to be dangerous, is what I like to say. So getting these strings out of the way so that I can take some distance, some height off of this saddle. And here we go. All right. So I'm hoping I got the strings loosened enough that I can lift the saddle out of here, and I can. Here we go. Y'all have probably seen me do this and others, but there is a process to doing this, which I found is a really great way to do it. Now, before I get going on this, I did sand off the top of this bridge. It was 3/8 of an inch thick. I think I shared this on my last stream about this guitar. I took it down about 1/8 of an inch. I removed 1/8 of an inch of wood off of this. The neck angle on this guitar is not correct. ultimately. So that is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And we're going to set this guitar aside here real quick. Stay. Okay, so here we go with getting our bridge cut proper. Let's see, where's my blue marker? Yeah, I'm coloring the bridge, or the saddle, sorry. It's a saddle, it's not a bridge yet. And this saddle has almost appears to me to have been possibly replaced at some point during the life of this guitar. So we're gonna go 2/32, 1/16 of an inch and 1/32 of an inch. So we wanna, somebody's calling me. Oh, let me take this call. Wally, hello. Hi, very good. What are the chances of you getting that Taylor in here anytime soon? I'm here right now. All right, I'll see you in a few then. Wonderful. All right, brother. Bye. Cool. I love it when that happens. Let's see. 11:01. I gotta go. My doctor called me also. Okay, so we're gonna remove 1/16 of an inch. Let's zero that out, and we're gonna go fractions of an inch, and I'm gonna find 1/16. 1/16. 1/16. And we're gonna make a little mark here. I've done this so much that my teeth on my calipers is getting oh, come on, fraction of an inch, 1/16. And then we're gonna go let's zero this thing out, and we'll go 1/32. 1/32 of, oh nope, not 5 1/28. 1/32. Right? So we're going to take this much off of this end. Let me make sure. Yes, that's the correct. Right? So there's my line that I need to hit. And then we'll put this over here. I like to do this because I got this little kind of lifted edge with my my pad, which lets me be very accurate when I draw my line. And I'm going to do that with my little favorite pencil. Okay. Boop. I want to be real accurate with drawing this line. Now when I do this, when I'm using this on the sanding on my belt sander, which I'm not going to be able to show you guys that process because that's out in the shop and I can't take my camera with me, so I'll be gone for a few seconds, maybe a minute. So that's how I go about getting the saddle height correct. You can see that that line is a bit of an angle right there. We'll get it up here close. So I'm going to go out to the shop and get this material sanded off the bottom of this, and then we'll start digging into the nut height. All right. Hey Preston, hello Hugh, welcome. My knees hurt again. Oh, and you guys check this out. Check this out. My knees hurt sent this to me. This will go on my bench at home, or my computer desk at home, so when I'm doing live streams you guys will probably see this, and that was so kind of you. This is a gift from My Knees Hurt, MKH, and he wrote on the back of this card, put your pics in it. I just love that, man. Oh, that is so kind of you. Pooh, hello. Yes, yeah, I sand all kinds of stuff other than belts. And man, I need a smaller belt because, you know, I'm watching my girlish figure and doggone it. Okay, so you guys hang in there. I'm going to go ahead and let me see. Maybe I can put on some music. I think I can do this. Let me open up this. Hang on just a second. Let's see. Marshall Original. Let's see if I can. Oh, maybe not. Library hours. Library playlists. Let's look at. Doggone it. Maybe I don't. Let's see. Oh, I know why I can't. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to play. I don't think I'm going to be able to play any of these. No. No, I'm not going to be able to play. Doggone it. Hey, Quentin, what's happening, brother? Doggone it. Maybe, well, let's see if I got... Nope, none of this. This computer, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to entertain you all very much. Let's go to, let me see if I can find something else here. I'm doing my best here to keep you all entertained while I'm doing this. Let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up a guitar backing track. Let's see. What key do you like? How about F minor? Cool driving melodic rock backing track in F minor. Now, can I make this? Let me add a.
Oh, you don't look that stupid, so that's good. Oh, I don't think that's true.
Hey, Governor.
Hey, you made it.
I did.
Excellent. Okay, I will have this ready for you. I'm hoping by this afternoon.
Oh, wow.
At the end of the day today. I'll do my best. You want me to put new strings up? Yeah, let's put new strings.
Yeah, let's put some new strings on.
Tell me again, string gauge.
Light medium.
Okay.
Somewhere
12s?
12, lighter than that, probably.
11s?
7's fine.
Okay. That's what I use on mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, do you have any electric guitar strings?
Yes. Yes.
I would like to buy some on my way out because my
Okay.
son has an electric guitar.
Okay. I've got this 12 string that I'm right in the middle of, but yours will be next.
Okay.
What kind of electric strings are you looking for?
Man, I don't know much about electric guitars,
Okay.
so.
What kind of guitar is it?
It's a black one? I really don't know. What
Is
kind
it like a Les Paul or is it
No,
more?
it's not going to be a nice one. It's going to be kind of just a cheapie.
The shape of the guitar is like...
Hourglass.
okay.
With the horns on it.
Oh, so it's an SG style.
Sure.
Angus Young looking thing?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay.
That'll work then.
Those are probably
Okay.
going to do you just fine.
Yeah, we're just
That's
gonna,
what I
I'm
use on my SG.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to clean them up and get it running so I can
Okay.
look at different things.
Okay.
Do you have anything for me to take home?
Not at this point, and we'll take care of the strings when you come in to pick up the Taylor.
Okay.
We can take care of that. Just tell Mike I got it. In
Okay.
fact,
Do I get like a receipt that you took my guitar, or is it all?
say again.
Do I get a receipt that you took my guitar?
That's for the pickup system that you paid for the
that's
other
right.
day.
Right.
And we'll do another receipt today when everything's all said and done. And in fact, I'm gonna do that. We'll start a new receipt because I don't want you to have to pay twice. It's
Yeah.
just kind of foolish to pay that. So today is the 25th.
All right, I'll do her.
Hey,
Thanks.
And we'll do one strings And we'll do $8 for the set of strings on that. So we'll cover that when you come back and pick up your guitar. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
You can
Cool.
call me later then?
I'll call you as soon as it's done.
Okay.
Okay?
Sweet.
So you'll be using it for the open mic this Thursday.
I was hoping that'd be great. It'd be cool. Yeah.
I'll check it all out and make sure everything's working. Here's your pickup system, by the way. And so I'll be able to check it and make sure. But it's going to look probably very similar to what you had in it before.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a direct replacement for it. Got the notch filter, that's gold.
Yeah.
Lots of EQ, and it's got a built-in tuner.
Right.
Which I don't know if your other one had that in it.
It didn't.
So this is the Plus T.
Yeah.
And to put the battery in it, I haven't opened it up yet, but there it goes.
It's all bound up in the
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. I haven't used one of these. Oh, that's what's going on. Yeah. So there's your battery.
Goes right in there.
Right
Okay.
in there.
Yep. Tony Tony
yeah.
texted me.
And I'm guessing that's probably what was bad with your other one. Right?
Yeah, that's what I think too.
And they cut all these wires off, which
was
dude,
stupid. I got it.
I wish I could tell you why they did it. And I tried to contact them, and I got
He
nothing.
called me.
They did?
He called me. He texted me, and he was trying to win my business back, and I basically just told him I'd already purchased this, and sorry.
Okay.
I mean, dude, I've been trying to do it for months. Like it's.
He and I, again, we're friends, but
he's just an older man. He's losing his memory. He's kind of what it is, dude. Like don't take anything personal. You know.
Yeah.
He's just. He wants to. He doesn't want to be in the shop anymore.
Yeah.
So.
I kind of agree, and his son's a really cool dude. He was at that open jam, and
I like Adam.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And generally does pretty good work.
Yeah.
So with him.
Well, his wife just had a surgery.
Oh.
And he didn't tell anybody that, and so I was just like, it's kind of all compounded on things, and it's what it is, man.
Well, it's gonna come back to life in just a few hours.
That's sweet.
So
Thank you, sir.
I can't wait to get it going for you.
Yeah,
all right.
it. Let me know.
Okay, I'll call you as soon as it's ready.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Woohoo. Somehow I am not able. Let me see if I can add a audio output capture. I should be able to get desktop audio and hit OK. And let's go to the properties for this device. Oh, maybe? Is that gonna do it? I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. No. Let's go to this, go to properties, and we're gonna try speakers and try that. Well, okay. I got this clunky old Behringer audio interface here that I'm not able to get this to you. So we'll just turn it up a little bit. Give me a couple minutes. I'll be right back from the belt sander. I'm gonna do this. I'll be right back. Let's we'll point you down here at this. Let me get this out of the way. There. It's a new pickup system for a Taylor guitar. Isn't that cool? That, I just let him take those strings off the bill for me. I got a receipt, sorry. I ain't letting people walk. What? I ain't letting people just Alright, that was quick enough, right? I got a really mean belt sander out there. Let me turn that down. Alright, let me get my camera over here out of the way and get my caliper holders and my tools and my box. Got way too much stuff going on here today. It's Monday, isn't it? It is Monday. Let's see. Okay, here we go. All right. Yeah. All right, so gotta remember. Yes, this is the direction that it came out. Oop. Get this. I love the fact that this saddle fits in here so nicely. Okay. And now we're bringing this back up to pitch. Being real gentle with that one. I love these 12 strings. Let me, if I can get this treble E, there we go. Woo! Scare the hell out of me when they jump like that. Come on, baby. What's going on here? This doesn't feel... There we go. Did those two get twisted? Did they? They can't get twisted. There's no way that could have happened. There we go. They did. How in the hell? How? Let's see. How in the hell could that have happened? That's impossible. Huh. Okay. So. Huh. That's impossible. You guys just witnessed something happen that's impossible for it to happen the way it just did. Unless I actually put these on backwards, which... Oh, that's how it happened. I see. Now, there we go. That ball got wrapped around this other ball. Alright, now we get to tune a 12 string again. And then we'll get to do it again after we're done tuning it this time, just to check our string height at the 12th fret. Let's get this up here where you can see what's happening here. And don't mind me, I'm just tuning a 12 string that I love to tune so much. I adore 12 strings. They're just one of the greatest. Dink. Sounds good, doesn't it? And oh my goodness, look at that. 5/64 and 4/64, just like it's supposed to be. Feels nice. Feels really nice now. This thing's really coming together nicely. And I think I've stated this before. I'm not a huge fan of Fender's acoustic guitars, but this one, you know, with a little love, you can make any guitar shape up, right? Let's see. Create a power friend. Right on. Yeah, it sounds pretty nice. Now this one does not have electronics in it. So for recording, my buddy, oh, and by the way, being that Kevin and I have become pretty good friends. The gentleman who owns this guitar's name's Kevin. Called me yesterday and said that he watched my stream about this guitar, and he was very grateful for getting to watch what I did. That was a fairly brief. Man. And this is a big reason why I don't do the nut work first before getting the string action at the 12th fret correctly, because now, having lowered this just a tiny little bit, 1/32 of an inch on the treble side and 1/16 of an inch on the bass side, the first fret action is absolutely accurate. So that saves me a little bit of work. So now all I got to do here is stretch the strings a little bit, and I've already stretched them, but when you loosen the strings like that, obviously you got to stretch them one more time, or a couple more times, get them all dialed in. I'm hoping my camera guy's not sleeping on the job. Learned a new trick in Reaper last night. Anybody else using Reaper? I think there's a couple of you here that might be using Reaper as your recording DAW. I learned how to, I can't believe I didn't know how to do this already, but I can't watch everything on YouTube, and I don't figure everything out like on my own. But this was really shocking, because I don't play, I'm not a real fluid keyboard player or pianist. I'm not real fluid on it. I can get around, but I learned how to play use my guitar as a keyboard for playing single note stuff or adding violin parts to songs. I cannot believe I didn't know how to do that already, but hey. Boy, this thing is really shaping up nicely. All right, I'm going to check the neck relief one more time here. Now that I've got her all tuned up, see where our neck relief is at. Let me get you pointed down here at the action as best I can. Oop. Okay. Boy. Yeah, that's looking great. I would say that we are pretty darn close to having this thing done, ready to go home. What do you think? I'll play it one more time just to see how she responds. Try and play that on a 12 string. Let's see, how's it? Yeah, she's ready to go home. Kev, I think you're going to dig this. Way better string action. So on this guitar, we put a bridge doctor in it. We've lowered the string action. We took a little bit of height off of the bridge and put some new strings on it. These are 10 to 54 with respect to the large strings on this. And I'm going to send this bad boy home. And I'm sure I'll get a good text message, I'm sure, letting me know if I did my job right. And Kevin is out measuring concrete probably right now, making sure it's thick enough, hard enough, cool enough, warm enough, whatever stuff that concrete needs to make sure it's done correctly, so that when you drive your car on it on the freeways here in the great state of Oregon, it's safe. He has a very important job. And don't tell him I said this, but the dude's got an amazing voice. I just shh. I don't want to. Oscar. Yeah, it's ready. Hey Zach, welcome. Hugh, if I didn't say hello already, hello. Hey Richard, what's happening? Yeah, so I discovered how to use my guitar as a MIDI ultimately control device. And I'll just briefly, if you want to know how to do it, it involves using Reatune in Reaper. And you use it, and the MIDI, it outputs MIDI, and so you can tell it to send output of the MIDI output. You can run that into Surge Synth or Keyzone Classic or any kind of synthesizer that would require a MIDI controller, and what you play on your guitar will come out of that synthesizer. retune is not polyphonic, so if you're playing full chords, it doesn't do that. But wow, what a cool experience that was. And what I did with it last night was I had Archetype Petrucci going, and then on the secondary track, which I had retune on that track, which read the no, I had that sent to another track, and I had retune and then surge synth on that, so I was playing through Petrucci, but the surge synth was going in behind it, so I had this really cool low pad going on. If you're want to look into doing that, there are plenty of videos on YouTube, because it was really some really cool sounds. Yeah, so this one is all done, ready to go. So let's hang this one up, and the next. All right. So Kevin, if you're watching, your guitar is all done, ready to go home. And next up, I'm gonna continue just going ahead and staying live. What is this? Okay. I'm gonna continue going live. Oh, and again, this little gift that I got from my knees hurt was such a thoughtful thing. Check that out. It's leather. Looks like it's got some fabric back here. Dude, that's just beautiful. It's all handmade. Yeah, how cool is that? It's a pick holder and a handmade card. I wish I could draw, man. I can't. I'm terrible. I can barely draw a stick figure. Okay, Taylor. This is a 410 CE. I have a 414. The 410 means it's a dreadnought instead of a 414, which is a grand auditorium. This guitar has had the hell played out of it. And the gentleman who owns it is such a cool dude. I got to watch him play this guitar a couple weeks ago at an open jam here in town. And let me get my... So we're going to put a set of 1152s on this, but most importantly, we're going to replace the pickup system in this guitar. So I'm going to yank the strings and get going on that. We'll get started. I mean, if you care to hang out and watch this happen. What did you have? That Fishman prefix plus T. Okay. Wow, okay. Yeah, this prefix plus T, this is built in 1998, so it's 1 year older than my Taylor. So this may be the same piece of wood at the top, and it has the exact same crack as mine. And I ain't kidding. So kind of cool. Yeah, it's an exact replacement. Now, something I will say briefly, and I'm not going to drive this point home at all. This guitar, let me get you up here. I'll share this info with you. I don't. So, give me a second. Let me loosen these strings up so I can get these off of here and get them out of my way. Alright, so I hope everybody's having a really wonderful Monday. Mine's been good so far. It rained last night. It was just a beautiful night. I walked out in the rain. It wasn't real cold. Such a beautiful evening. So, having grown up in Portland, the rain is a very soothing, it's very soothing for me. And, let's see. So these are all plastic. I wonder... I think, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, because these guitars originally come with ebony end pins, and I've done plastic and I did brass in mine, and nothing sounds, literally the ebony pins sound better. There's definitely a difference. And it's funny because that video that's on my YouTube channel about that is one of my most highly viewed videos, which is interesting. where I compared ebony to brass end pins. It's kind of shocking that it was one of my most highly viewed. Feed rain, heavy rain. Yeah. Never going to strength again like we did before. Okay, so Oscar, you just asked a wonderful question, and I'll tell you why we're replacing this pickup system. This is why. The other shop that exists here in our town, who they have a guy there that supposedly works on guitars, cut the wires and cut the old pickup system out of it and didn't replace it. And you know, I just I'm not gonna kick this horse a lot at all. It's not worth me even really making a statement on that, but that's unacceptable work, and I would never do that unless you know, we got to the point where we discovered, you know, hey, the pickup's busted in this guitar and I can't fix it, or you can't afford to put a new system in it. I mean, that would be one way I would, the only way I would do something like this to an instrument of this caliber. So that's what happened. So I am following up where somebody else dropped the ball, I feel, on this guitar. Did something I don't feel was accurate or appropriate for the instrument. So we're getting the old electronics out and we're putting new electronics in. And let's see. Okay, so I can use this to gauge my my depth on my. I'll use this old. I'm sorry, you guys aren't seeing what I'm doing down here. My camera guy's sleeping on the job. All right, so there's the old output jack. We're gonna leave that alone. Let me get some of this stuff out of my way. I've got way too much stuff on my bench for doing the job at hand. Give me a second here. So I really kind of wish that the other shop would stop working on guitars, because I run into this quite often, and I have to fix stuff that otherwise may not need to be fixed. I don't know if the pickup system was damaged, and I'll never know because I don't have the old pickup system to make that judgment. Okay, there's that. Now, here's where stuff's going to get interesting. Okay, so none of this. So this is how the new system is, and I want to see. So I am going to have to push this up through the bottom. Let me see if I can push it down. Yes. All right, so I'm gonna make a bit of a preemptive strike and get this other stuff out of the way here. Like I said, I can use the old pickup mount that was coming through the butt of this guitar to set the depth of this nut on here. Come off of there. And I really love, yeah, I agree with you, Hugh. For playing live, I don't know if there's much, if there are many or any better pickup systems than what this guitar was sold with. And I think that I lost a washer down inside. Yes, I did. This. Lock washers. Fender and Gibson and Kramer and Jackson and ESP and LTD and Harmony and every other guitar manufacturer. Take note. Start putting these on all of your volume knobs. save your customers a whole lot of anguish dealing with their volume knobs coming loose. Now I do feel like this old pickup was sticking outside of the guitar a little bit too far, so I am gonna shorten that by about a 1/16 of an inch or so. So, whoop. And I just dropped the washers, but we'll fix that. I'll just use these old ones because I don't want to dig around on the floor right now for washers. Okay. In fact, yeah. All right. Now I'm hoping that this pickup system fits in here nicely, and it takes up this gap and the space, fills up the hole, and boom, it fits almost perfectly. I might have to do a little bit of work on this, but before I do that, I can do that in a moment. I'm gonna use my I've got this little tool here that I've built. It's a 1/4 inch end. I'm gonna push this through here, and we will plug this into the output jack. It's an output jack. Believe that? It's not an input jack. Alright? It's an output jack. Am I? Tell me I'm wrong. Funny how many people call it an input jack. I've never seen it work as an input jack. Although Jennifer Batten, famously playing for Michael Jackson back in the 80s and 90s, she does have an input jack on her guitar. So, but that's the one guitar that I'm aware of that actually has that this jack doubles as an input jack. I haven't ever seen one on any guitar that I've ever worked on personally that was an input jack. Alright? So, come on. Hope you can see what I'm doing down here. You can't. Doggone it. My camera guy's sleeping on the job. Okay, now time for good old Jack the Gripper, right? Y'all had one of these, seen one of these before? Put that inside the jack. Now I can hold that taunt and get the nut tight. Boom. Go ahead and try and get that undone. And then we'll put the output jack. Now I do grab these with a pair of I might get this just like this to give it a little bit of cinch. And good as gold. Alright, now before I get too far carried away, I'm going to clean the top of this guitar, and I'm going to take my shirt off. Here we go. Alright, so let's clean this thing up a little bit. You can see the top of this is pretty gucky, right? I'm just using some good old Dunlop 65. And I may hit this guitar with a little linseed oil just because there's some exposed wood and I'd like to protect that for him. I'm not going to clean all the guck off of there. That just looks like the guitar's been played, right? But look at all that stuff coming off of here. Lots of guck on here. This guy has played the tar out of this guitar. The tar, get it? The tar out of this guitar. And that's what guitars are made to do. You just remove the tar and it becomes a git. Play the tar out of it and then you just have a git. Alright. We're looking a whole lot better. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Nice. That looks nice. Now I'm going to put this over in the bin with the rest of the garbly-gook. Now I'm going to see, will this look at that, just like it was made for it, and the screw holes even line up perfectly. So, and that is one thing that, oh yes, did it come with screws? It sure did. It came with new screws. As you can see, you know, now the pickup system is in there. I'm gonna go ahead and screw this down. We'll get you up overhead here. I know you're probably getting seasick from all the camera moving around and such. Right? Extreme close-up. Okay, so they sent new screws and the whole 9 yards. That's awesome. And oh, and the little covers for the, and a clip for the strings to pass through. There we go. This is going to look really nice. How cool is that? I hope these screws, I might have to fill these screw holes, unfortunately. Yeah. Bummer. Okay, so we got screw holes that are too big. So I have to fill the, whoa, throwing tools around here. Good grief, I don't do that very often. Okay, so we got those screws. You know, I think before I do that, I'm going to take a look at some of the screws that I have here, rather than refilling those holes. Let's see if maybe I have some little black screws here that would. They don't even have to be black, do they? Oh, where are you? My bad. Nah, I don't think I want to do that. Here we go. Maybe these will do it. These might be just the ticket. And you know, I'd almost prefer to use a little bit bigger screws because there ain't a whole lot of wood here holding these screws in. So let's just see how things work, because also there's little covers that go over these screws and I want to make sure they fit. I may have to use something different here, but now we've got a good bite. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Now will this cover fit? Check out these little things. They send these little guys with them. Okay.
Amazing, what a catalog, you know. And fine and funny.
Yep. So we've just improved this installation by a lot, I think. We're using a bit bigger screw, so we've got a little more material holding this and a little more stuff going into the wood. I'm really glad about that. I like how this is working out. My fingers are not working real great today. I got butter fingers. All right. Yeah, and these are going in and they're just really biting really nicely. Now these screws are actually, they're generally for pickup. I'm sorry, a pick guard. To put on a pick guard. Does this have a protective cover over it? No. It's got a little blemish on this thing. And that one went in nice and snug. Look at that. Really digging how these are biting. They get nice and tight. That's excellent. I love that. All right. Before I get too much further, I gotta find a 9-volt. Come here, 9-volt. I gotta go grab a 9-volt. I'll be right back. Here it is. Look at that. I'm gonna tip this over on its side. Actually, no, I'm gonna get a kickstand.
Well, it was a great band. You know, it's like the
So you guys have seen me do this before, but I use one of these as a kickstand for the guitar so that it can't tip over. Right? Not too tight and just enough to not scratch the guitar up. Now the guitar can't tip over on my bench. Okay, I'll be right back.
went to a lot of the shows. Saw the Raccoon and Flaco Jimenez, and I saw the National Super Pickers. And, you know, I go almost every week. You know, the tickets were free. You didn't have to enter a lottery to get a ticket. You know, there's too many people out there now. We got to win the lottery to go to a national park.
I just want to be sure
I'm not sure
that this pickup works before I put it in this guitar and discover that it doesn't work after doing all that, right? So now, is that it? That's all it does? No shit. Oh, there we go. It kind of snaps into place. Tuner works. All right, let's see if we got output. What do I want to plug this into? Let's see, I'll just plug it straight into my old amp. And we will get my amp plugged in. Should have You know what I did? I just realized I did something wrong. I was complaining about how far outside of the guitar that the pickup was sticking out, and I have recessed it too far into the guitar so that I cannot get the 1/4-inch jack plugged in far enough. Look at that. As much as I try to walk on water, my ankles get wet. Whoop. So, let me get Jack the gripper out. We'll get you down here in the business. Let me turn some light on. That should help. Hope everybody's doing okay. Yep. Yeah, and it also makes it so that a guy doesn't have to put a snark on his beautiful Taylor guitar. and hide the name from everybody in the audience so that nobody can see that he's playing such a beautiful instrument. So I got a little aggressive on my wanting to hide the come on. Come on. Okay, so woohoo. So I'm gonna have to. I noticed I had about maybe the thickness of this nut that I needed to extend the length of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and redo this. I mean, if you haven't done it right, do it twice, right? There we go. Pull the jack back through. Come on. Get on there. Uh-huh. There we go. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. And where'd my nut go? I'm gonna put this on the opposite direction. Got a little bubble on that. Oh geez. Did I lose that nut? I did not lose that nut. I did lose that nut, didn't I? My goodness. Boy, it's a good thing I got extra parts laying all over the place. And actually, this nut is a little bit bigger than the other one, so I kind of like it. It's a little bit thicker. I know my arm's right in the middle of the movie there. Sorry about that. I mean, I'm kind of sorry, but maybe these threads are different. I might have to dig up that other nut. There it goes. Alright. I gotta have my headphones right in the way. Come on. There we go. Boy, I hope I got that out far enough at this point. I hope I do. Is that cable gonna get in there far enough? I hope it does. Let's see, volume. Crank it. Notch. There. Where's my wire? Oh yeah. Proof that it works, right? Proof is in the pudding. Now, this is the most fun part of this whole project, and that is Finding that hole. And I gotta turn this light off because I can't see as well as I'd like to. Ooh boy, that was close. I almost had it. Almost. And you may wonder why I'm leaving it on, because I want to know that I didn't break it in installing it like this. And I can't do it the opposite direction because the wires are affixed to the preamp. So I don't have any choice but to go through from this direction. And just like that, we have the pickup in there, and I'm going to go ahead and put the bridge back on there. And we may have to do some work to the bridge, but I'm going to pull this through far enough to make sure to completely cover the slot. There we go. That thing is hot. I love it. So the pickup works. So this dude's going to be able to do a gig with his new pickup system in this. And I'm going to go ahead and tape that in place. I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of work. I'm going to do some setup work on this guitar now. So just like that, we have fixed it. And apparently the other shop couldn't do something like that, I guess. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to clean up the fingerboard, and we'll give that a good treatment with linseed oil. I'm going to go ahead and unplug the guitar now because I know it works. There we go. Oh, I was almost out of... I've cleaned so many necks, my simple green is almost gone. Boy, I've been busy doing neck cleanings and such. So, let's get to... that ain't gonna do it. There we go. Get these out of the way. And oh, before I do anything else, because these will get lost for sure, I want to put these little plugs in all the spaces where they go. There's that one, and that one. These would assuredly, almost undeniably, these little black things would get lost. So look at that. Doesn't that look sweet? You see that? There we go. There we go. God, I love these pickup systems. All right, so now we can get our neck all cleaned up. We got all the business end of the. Now I do have to strap the wires up inside here, and I'm gonna see maybe. Maybe I can use the old. Oh yeah, I might be able to get those in there. If I don't break it. There they go. I got them. Come on. Get in there. There we go.
You will get a free Casio watch, though. They still make Casio watches? Okay, we can order one.
Okay. I'm gonna put one more. I'm gonna put one more wire strap on here to hold the wiring in this thing in where it's supposed to go. And let's get that off of there. What a mess! Good grief! I have got quite the mess going here. I'm gonna put some tools away real quick, so now I can be on with my get on with the dirty work here. Before I do this, I am going to polish these frets. Let's put some. What time is it getting to be? Because I'm feeling hungry. Is it? Okay, we're doing fine on time.
Joey was just too young and stupid to know you're not supposed to.
All right.
So he's putting new binding in our old Gibson. Look at that down on a plate line. It's pretty cool.
Whew.
Yeah, they were great. Yeah, you did a nice job. They fixed my Martin. What can I do for you today? Oh, those are no good anymore. Yeah. Don't I try that every year? I collect. I don't do that. Yeah. There's a little Walla County guy right over there.
Spend half my time cleaning. These frets are pretty close to being ready for a level and crown, but we're gonna let them go maybe a couple more string changes. They're not presenting any problems to the guy that owns the instrument, but I will have a discussion with him about maybe next string change or a couple string changes from now to do a level and crown on these. They could use it. Time for a new rag. Yeah, boy, he's played the hell out of this thing. Mine looked about like this when I decided to, I replaced the first 7 frets on mine. And it made a marked improvement in the way that guitar felt and played. So, all right, let's clean up this neck now and get some linseed oil on it and get that part all done. Once I do this, then I'll go through and clean the sides and the back and the top, and I'll make sure everything's back to where it started. Better than it was when it got here.
Just the other day, he said, we're not playing 60 gigs next summer. We're going to sit on your patio and play for fun. Okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
I think I got enough on there.
We were scheduled to play up at
There we go.
but Chris got COVID. COVID. So we had to cancel a couple of weeks of gigs. Well, we just wanted to make sure.
Ebony doesn't usually take up a whole lot of oil. So when you oil the fingerboards on an ebony fingerboard, it's not a big, massive color change. It's such a black, dark colored wood to begin with that you don't see a big marked improvement. The only thing it does is make it look a little bit wet, I guess, with ebony fingerboards. One thing I love about Taylor is that they use the ebony, and they're so conscientious about preservation of wood species. They've done a really great job with their industry. Depends on the survival of spruce and ebony and rosewood and things like that. They've just been very good ushers of the field of building guitars. And now they are employee owned, which I think is, some people don't kind of frown on that, but I think that's a great thing. Gives employees a feeling of importance in their jobs, I think. Some people can't handle it, I guess. I think they're still employee owned. I don't think they've changed anything since that all took place. That started a few years back, I think. All right. Now that gets fingerboards all cleaned up. Tell me we don't have fun here at the shop. You hear all the laughter in the other room. Isn't that cool? All right. All right. So let's go ahead and finish cleaning up the guitar. Hey, there's that nut that I was missing. I found it. It was right where I left it. And I need to throw some of this old guck away that the other shop unfortunately ruined. Really bummer. Real bummer. Who knows? And again, I'm cleaning.
Yeah, that came out pretty good, didn't it?
Go ahead and flip this over.
See, Brian's just kind of playing that old Gibson that you guys put back
Oh,
together.
yeah.
He was wondering what the model was. Can you give him a little history on what that thing is?
You bet.
He's also builds guitars.
Oh, cool.
Named Brian
Cool.
Oliver.
Okay. Cool.
He'll be right over, Brian. I think Mark will remember a lot more about it.
have him come over here, Marshall.
Oh,
I
that'd
thought
be-
you were following.
I'm cleaning this thing.
You're
I gotta
fine.
try
You're
and-
just- this is Brian
Hello.
Oliver. He
Brian,
builds guitars.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So that one, I believe the model is known as either an LG
Yeah.
5 or an LG2.
Yeah, I'm not that familiar with their arch tops, but that's
Yeah.
really cool
Yeah.
guitar.
The closest date we can come up with on that one is 53.
Yeah.
And that's just
Wow.
there were no markings, no serial number, obviously. So it's old enough to not have that stuff. But the tailpiece and the machine heads are original, aside from the fact that I had to redo the buttons on those. And the original ones were just falling off of there. And but it had on the interior of it the 2 braces that go down the body. They were rattling. They were literally off the top. And
How do you get in there and fix that?
pull the back off of it. And if you look around the back of it, you'll see you can see some of the remnants of the repair, where the lacquer is like new, and the back of it's had a whole entirely new coat of lacquer put on it, lacquered, and just to bring it back to life, man. That was a lot of work. A lot of work. I don't like pulling backs off guitars, but there's no other way to do that. There's no way.
I can see that. For
Yeah.
Sure.
And with the braces gone, it was just waiting for the top to get caved in. With that saddle like it was. The original saddle, the guy lost it. And I was so bummed about it, because he said, I know I have it somewhere. He kept telling me, I know I have it somewhere. And he could never find it. And
Are these floating?
Yep. Yep. So it's totally, you adjust the intonation by scooting it forward and backwards. I don't think we didn't really aside. I mean, you can imagine the amount of work that we got into that thing, but outside of putting a new bridge or saddle on it, that's really all we did. And the one amazing thing about that instrument is that the pick guard is still with it. That's usually the first thing that's unobtainium. Try and find one of those, And so we were so lucky to have that. So as guitars go, and being that old, that thing's in really good shape. I did nothing to the top aside from I used some dye to color in some of the divots that were in this. Some of these were just bare wood, so it just was, your eyes were just drawn right to it. So I tried to dull that out to make it look a little more, less,
So how are these tops braced?
There are 2 braces that go basically just inside the F-holes, and they basically try to land those, I think, underneath the feet of the saddle. So they're coming from the neck, and they kind of go at a bit of an angle outward. They're not real, and you can actually look. In fact, I'll give you my mirror here. You can look down. I think I can get this in there. Yeah. You can take a look. You see how those braces go? And they were both just hanging in there. They were both attached at this end by about a 1/2 inch of glue. And it was, the high glue that Gibson used back in the 50s, which my guess is the guitar was sitting in the sunlight and the glue just melted, and they finally it got hot and hot and hot. And maybe got hot and frozen, who knows. When I do that sort of stuff, I do my best to make it look as close to original without any bunch of glue drips and stuff in there. Because I know other techs are going to someday look at that guitar. To think, oh, that guy did.
Are those saw curves in those braces? Those
What's that?
are those saw curves in those braces? Those little marks, vertical marks that are spaced kind of evenly.
Yeah. It's to fit the curvature of the top.
Mm-hmm.
Which, what was interesting is that when I had that thing sitting out and I laid them back in there, man, they fit absolutely perfectly. They were formed to the top, and they do put those little slices in them so that they can bend it with the relief of the top of the guitar. And there is a reason Gibson is one of the biggest guitar builders in the world. They have built some really high quality stuff.
I don't know if I'll ever attempt a carved body guitar or not.
Do a carved top or a...
All I've done so far is flat top acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
I've only done a few of those, so I'm still learning.
Yeah. I've only built... I've primarily spent my career as a tech repairing instruments, but if I run out of guitars to repair, I'll buy a kit guitar from Stu Mac or whatever, or Les Paul. I've got one back here that's just waiting for me. I'd love to be able, but I've only done electric guitars. I haven't built an acoustic. I don't have the shop or the tooling. I used to, but so electric guitars are my forte. And I tell you what, dude, I build one and it leaves this shop. It's sold in 4 or 5 days most of the time. People find out and just come, So I've built a pretty good reputation for myself here. So that always feels good, though. And I sold it to some really interesting folks, beginners. This girl came in one time. She had hardly ever played, and she just saw the guitar. She's like, "That one is beautiful." The appearance, just what it looked like, But then I've had guys that have been playing for years and years, and I can build a guitar and sell it for $500, which is cheap.
Yeah.
But they know I set it up. I did all the electronics work in it. If they ever have a problem with it, then bring it right back to me, and I'll take care of it. I'd love to build an acoustic. I just don't know if I have enough time.
Yeah. Well, I got a nice big shop. I was a cabinet maker for many years, so I got the tools and a nice shop. It's just the know-how is coming slowly.
Man, I would love to see one. It would be neat for me, because I owned a Jerry Nolte guitar. He's pretty famous around here.
Yeah. A couple of friends of mine have.
What's that?
A couple of friends of mine have Nolte guitars.
Yeah. And they're beautiful. It's like I'm a tech and I fix them, and I see the problems in Gibsons, and I see the problems in Fenders, and then Taylors. Taylor has very few. These guys build I think their design and the technology and the engineering they put into these.
Yeah.
I can pull the neck off of this guitar in 10 minutes.
Yeah. System they have is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I own one, so I'm biased. But there's always something you could point out about a guitar that well, I would have done this differently. Well,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the part about it that I have the most trouble with really is what I call it, I guess, playability, getting the neck angle, neck attached to the body correctly.
That right
it's the
there.
most difficult thing for me to do.
Yep.
I'm just doing bolt-on mortise and tenon bolt-on necks.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do dovetail.
Are you doing bolt-ons?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude. That
And
is.
I couldn't do it any other way because I had, so far anyway, I've always got to take the neck off and tweak it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to try to get it right.
Yeah. That, and I, you know, in all honesty, you know, that's probably when I've run into guitars that I can't make it playable. I can't take enough off of this bridge. I can't make it short enough to get the string action there right.
Yeah.
Because the neck's doing that.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I've had guys bring in, you know, Harmony Sovereign. I mean, it's a $50 Walmart guitar, Kmart guitar, whatever, Woolworth.
Yeah.
But it was, I bought it new, or my dad gave it to me when I was 8 years old in 1960. Okay, pull the neck off of that thing and rebuild that joint and get that neck angle right. And I know
Yeah.
that is a lot of work, and it's very, you gotta be so precise.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, you know, I can fit it in there and know, you know, at that, okay, I gotta take a little bit more, you know, to get it. But
Yeah,
the
it's a
fact that
tricky-
you're doing
tricky
bolt-ons.
thing, yeah. Yeah, it just takes experience doing it enough times. And I'm not quite there. I've only made 4 guitars so
You
far.
built 4 of them so far?
So
Yeah.
I haven't quite figured it all out yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've only been setting up my own guitars since I was 12. I mean, I broke a guitar and the guy showed me how to fix a saddle on it. And my brain went, you can fix shit? And, you know, then I broke a nut and had to put a new nut on the guy. And the guy's telling me, borrow some sandpaper from your dad. And you can do it. You know. The next thing I knew, I was fixing guitars. I mean, I've done other stuff in my life. But that's kind of how my story went. And then I played professionally for decades now, and there ain't nothing like walking up on stage with a perfectly set up guitar. You hit that thing and it's just, everything's perfect. You know, if you're playing a Gibson or a Fender, a lot of that was taken care of by the manufacturer, but the little tweaks that I put into mine to make it just exactly the way I want it, yeah. And so if you ever need some help, you know, I know there's tons of YouTube videos out there where you can watch how guys set up and all the dimensions and all that.
Yeah.
But if you ever want or need some help,
Well, what I should do one of these times is bring one of my guitars out.
Yeah.
And have you check it out. 'Cause,
I would love to see one, man.
I mean, these last 2 I made, one of them's pretty good, but still isn't quite right. And the other one needs, I gotta do some more work on it. I gotta take the neck off of it, do some
Yeah.
more tweaking.
Yeah. Are you selling them, or?
Well, I did sell the second one I made.
Uh-huh.
I don't, it's not really my intention,
Yeah.
at least not at this point. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it as a hobby, basically.
Yeah.
First one I made is in my daughter's possession. The second one, some friends came to me, and whose granddaughter, 15-year-old granddaughter, was starting to learn to play guitar.
Ah.
And they said, hey, would you consider building a guitar for her? And I said, well, I just finished this one. So I ended up going to her, and that's kind of cool. It goes to somebody you know,
That's
some
awesome.
young kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure what I would do if somebody actually came to me and said, hey, I want to pay you to build me a guitar. I'm not sure I would do it. Because it would be a whole different
They commissioned you to
pressure
build it. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get it right.
And
everything right.
I've had that. I had a guy wanted me to build him an SG, a Gibson SG style guitar, and he was a student of mine, so and okay, and I explained to him we're gonna do a kit, and this is a kit, but you can pick your own neck and your neck profile and all that, and he ordered all the stuff that he thought he wanted, and I put that guitar together for him and did all the finish work. And I'll say this, man, $5,000 guitar, $4,500 of it is the fucking finish on those things. That takes forever. Oh, it's such a and I don't do it enough that I'm super.
Yeah.
It's not like I shoot lacquer on guitars every day.
Right. I've done 3 different finishes on 4 guitars so far.
Yeah.
I lacquered the first one because I got a finishing room that I use in my cabinet business.
Oh yeah.
I sprayed lacquer.
You can shoot lacquer out there and not.
Cabinet finish. I lacquered the first one, and the second one I tried True Oil.
True Oil. Yeah.
Finish.
Yeah.
On that one, and I kind of liked that one. It's not I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Finish.
Did you leave was the wood natural? Did you do any dyeing? You didn't do any sunburst or no finish really?
I haven't tried a sunburst or anything like that.
Yeah. Dude, that is when shit gets really fun. That part of it is actually pretty easy because you really can't. It just looks like you did it, and you can see. It's a part that you can get like really picky about, but the one that I just did, man, I was like, whew, I wish I had one that looks like this, That's a part that I really enjoyed. The lacquering part, I'll leave that to the professionals.
Yeah. The last 2 I tried this Royal Lac. Spray on not a lacquer, it's I'm blanking out on what the finish is. What you use for French polishing only.
The French
shellac.
Shellac.
So
there you go. Yeah.
Sprayable shellac finishing. I didn't like it much. I kind of
You
regretted
didn't.
doing it. So,
Yeah. What was the issue that because lacquer is what I've done the most of. I got a whole buckets of it down here and colored and all that stuff.
Lacquer's pretty forgiving in a lot of ways. This Royal Lac stuff is not very forgiving.
Yeah.
At least like lacquer is.
Does it orange peel or does it?
No. No, but it didn't flow out very well, for one thing.
When you're shooting it, it just didn't seem to...
Like lacquer does. Lacquer just flows out so easily, typically, unless there's some really weird conditions that you spray against.
Yeah. You get a little too much in one spot, you just hit it with a little paint thinner and it'll melt.
So I don't think I'll be using the Royal, trying that again. I'll go back to lacquer.
Lacquer's definitely my favorite to do, just because I've done it more than probably anything else. I have more experience with it. Shellac, I've never used it. And I've rebuilt a couple of violins that had shellac finish on them that I had to do some stuff with, and I ended up drop filling, little spots with lacquer. No, you couldn't tell. Nobody could ever tell that was done on those things, so I was able to hide that stuff. But
yeah, I haven't tried a lot of acoustic builders use French polish. I haven't attempted that yet. And I'd watched lots of videos. Robbie O'Brien's.
Do you watch any
videos.
Jerry Rose's work on YouTube?
Well, you know, I just watched one of his videos just the other day, actually.
I've been following him for
Where he took
years.
somebody brought in a Martin that the bridge was lifting up on, and
Yeah.
took the bridge off and went through his whole process of
Yep.
doing that. Yeah, pretty knowledgeable guy.
Yeah. He's done an entire series on him hand carving mandolins, and I'm going, you know, what the craftsmanship involved and the knowledge that the guy has. I mean, he's a little pretentious, but I think we all are. And so there's a little bit of ego, but man, the stuff that I've learned from him, really for me, the finish stuff where he's shooting lacquer and doing staining of a mandolin with the wood alone. The chopped piece of wood was $400. Now he's putting color on it, and watching him, the process he uses and the materials and such. Yeah, I love that guy. I haven't really watched him much lately, but he has a great channel. I mean, if there's all the repair stuff that he does, and he's got an entire series on building one of his guitars, which he's not building any more guitars. He said he won't do it again.
There's a world of information out there. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
If you're like me, starting out in luthery, it's a whole different situation than it was 20 years ago. There's
Yeah.
so much information. A lot of it's good, some of it not so good.
I've been really lucky that Mike has given me the freedom to take the time that is needed to do work for folks and not have to charge them an arm and a leg. And for me, I live a very simple life, and I don't buy a bunch of shit. I'm not buying a car. I own one.
I'm in here right now because my car's over.
What's that?
Gauss. I'm in here right now because my rig's over Gauss Motors getting worked on.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I've been able to keep the folks that do bring their instruments in here, the demographic, happy. These guys, that play, they don't. It's not like many of them don't have any money at all, but they've been playing and they own this guitar and they need it fixed. And I'm lucky to have Mike to, support my endeavors in this, and he knows that everybody that comes in here leaves with a smile on their face. I've had, to my knowledge, I have zero complaints, and I'm proud of that. And then I've had Stu. Wow, man, I tuned this thing almost. Stu Hensley has been here he's worked here for 40 years or longer. To have him as a resource to ask him, hey, what would you do on this? And he'll throw ideas at me. Oh my God, I never would have thought of that. Really lucky. Really lucky. God, this looks like it. Here we go.
How's that?
Neck angle's wrong. Let's tilt that. This is a bolt on.
You talked about that era that
All right.
I just keep, they're so upbeat
All
tunes.
right.
You know Larry Haney?
What's that?
You know Larry Haney?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done quite a bit of work for him.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, not a lot. He's pretty self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's had some experience.
yeah, I love that guy. And his son Foster,
Yeah.
or, I don't know their whole, anyway,
Yeah.
he's the reason I ended up with the Nolte guitar. Because Steve Hines, are you familiar with Steve?
Mm-hmm.
Steve gave him the Nolte when he broke that old Alvarez that he was just madly in love with. It got just destroyed. The headstock broke, and it was not. Anything can be fixed. You and I both know that. But this was to the point where he's like, ah. So Steve gave him the Nolte, and it rode around with them, and he ended up in Hawaii, and it ended up all over the United States, and he was gigging with it and playing it everywhere, and he found a new Alvarez, and he was just in love with the Japanese-made Alvarez guitars, and he found one, and the Nolte went in the case and sat in his closet, and then years went by, and he found another Alvarez and bought that one. You know, Nolte was sitting in the case. He called me up. I'm trying to keep a long story short here, but he called me up and he's like, "Hey, this Nolte I got, can you work on them?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like one of the few people that's ever worked on one of them. I know him really well." And he's like, "Okay, I'm bringing this one. You know, you take a look at it." And so he brought it over and met me at my house, and he handed me the guitar, and I'm looking the thing over and going, "Oh yeah, it needs a little fret work, and there's some frets popping up." And he goes, "Well, what do you think of your new guitar?" And I was like, he's like, "No is not an answer I'm going to take." He said, "That's your guitar." He's like, I was going to give it to a school so that kids could use it, or you know, try and find somebody else. He's like, I can't think of anybody that where this thing would land. So that was really a special thing that he did for me. That Larry's son, man, he's a good dude.
Yeah, Larry, I've been playing some with Larry, or Leroy, I guess he kind of also likes to be called.
Yeah, I can't keep up with those. Those guys are very under the radar, as I like to say.
Yeah, he's been playing some dobro with us some.
Yeah. I didn't know.
He's living in Malawi now.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, and what happened to those guys up there last?
Yeah.
Oh god, I couldn't believe it. They came into town right after it happened, and he got out of his van. It looked like you let 1,000 major league pitchers run through town, throwing a baseball at anything they wanted, man. Incredible.
Yeah, it was something else. The other guy we play with, John Raines, he lives in Malawi also.
John who?
Raines.
Okay.
Is his last name. He grew up in Malawi. Played music with him off and on.
Yeah.
For a long time. Anyway, they had 3 vehicles, all parked outside. They don't have a garage. All totaled.
Just total.
He's got a metal roof shop building.
Uh-huh.
And when I went down there after the storm, he said, "Come here, look at this." And I walked inside the shop building, and there's holes in the metal roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting is that just, I mean, as a crow flies, it's 40 miles, not even 40 miles from where we're standing. I don't know if it's even that far.
Yeah.
30 miles, if you could just go there. Nothing happened here. Not even a cloud, you know.
Didn't happen anywhere else in Malawi County either. That day.
So you're doing, with your guitars though, you're doing bolt-on necks.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen a Taylor neck taken apart?
Well, only not in the flesh. Only.
Well, I'm gonna
Only
have to.
pictures of them.
I have to shim this one because it's. I don't have a lot of saddle left, and it's just the neck angle's wrong.
Yeah.
And you know, I look across the top of the guitar, and I can see. I usually like the very top of that nut. I should just barely catch a glimpse of it off the top of the guitar.
Yeah.
That way, I know that the fingerboard is lower than it is. It's definitely going downhill. Well, this one, I'm seeing like below the nut. When I level this off with my eye, I can see. I don't use my eye to measure anything. That's stupid. But with that, that's the only way I can.
Yeah.
I can really gauge it. And of course, the top on none of these are flat, truly. But you know.
Yeah, I'd like to watch that. I'm gonna let Mike put this one back on the rack.
I can let you put these back.
Okay.
Alright. So now this has turned into pulling the neck off of this guitar. Having a really wonderful conversation with this gentleman. I don't know how well you guys can see it. Jerry Nolte, actually. I have the capo on there still. I'm on a live stream right now because I don't want the strings coming off the headstock. That way it saves me from having to rewind the strings up on there. A little trick of the trade. I've done this before. Okay. I'm going to take my glasses off. So the way they do it, they've got this decal, of course. And they sent me extras, right? So that covers up the bolts, and I think they're 7/16. So, and there's two of them in here, and I'm working blind here, but and I'm gonna do this with the strings on the guitar because you know, obviously
That's an interesting.
somebody
trick,
just asked me why I left the capo on there. That's why. I
I
don't
don't
want to make
remember
a
that.
having to put strings back on a guitar that's already been strung up sucks. And the last thing I do is cut the ends of them off, because inevitably you'll have to take them back off the guitar, and if you got that. So there's the one of them. This other one. There we are. Well, that didn't seem very tight. Hang on. That's the bottom one, which if I tightened it up, that would pull the... No. So...
Yeah, if I had Taylor's CNC capabilities, my bolt-on necks would fit a lot better.
What's that?
If I had Taylor's CNC capabilities, my bolt-on necks would fit a lot better.
So, one thing I do like to do, before I take this off of here, I just want to make sure I don't tear the, peel the lacquer, if it's stuck at all. I like to go, I've done a few of these and I own one, so I've had to do this to my own. I just go along the edge of the neck, really super light with this. And there's one more little Allen key that I've got to take off of here. Oop, careful. I don't know if this that I'm doing is really necessary, but if this is stuck to the finish on there, I don't want to. Really? This one doesn't have a. Usually there's a. This one might be old enough. Here we go.
So he might, sound like he can see on the record, he might want to do it in G or something. He don't want to. That was a pretty good.
Oh no shit.
Up to C sharp, G sharp.
There's no.
And so we do that. He can play piano fluently in every key. It's
Hmm.
amazing. A solo.
Well, I'm anxious to see what happens here. So this one is 1 year older than mine, and it doesn't have a little hex key that they put a little.
It goes up.
Yeah, it goes up through the top, and this doesn't. So is this fingerboard glued on? What the hell? I might need to be careful here because yeah, I'm not seeing anything in there there's no mechanical joy that I can. I mean, huh?
Seems like it would defeat the purpose of a bolt-on neck if you glued the
Yeah.
fingerboard to the top.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna. See what happens here. Boy. Boy, I'm not sure what to do at this point. I mean, the neck's moving, but it's. Okay, so how is this attached? Let me see. Let me, there's a gentleman on here that wants to know if you're interested in buying some guitar making tools.
Oh.
Taylor fanboy, I get it. I'm not sure what I need to do here. There's nothing. I mean, unless they put a screw underneath one of these dots, but. And somebody else may have glued this down, it's possible. Like if this neck has been off here before. I mean, you can see it.
Yeah.
It's loose there, but it ain't loose up here. I just don't see. There's nothing. Usually there's a little Allen key in here. And the other thing I'm seeing also is that this has it's like I've never seen this before. Yeah, that I gotta assume is there's like on the top of the neck block that's here, there's like a piece of maple, it looks like, that's shimmed, that's kind of cut in a semicircle, so the neck block is sticking out, and it's so alright, I could back pedal here and just take some height off of the saddle and get the string action right. The neck angle isn't right. And the fact that I'm seeing what I'm seeing here, dang. I don't know what has happened. It almost looks as though this thing's been altered. Like the neck's been off of it and somebody did something. If they did, man, they did some really great work. I don't want to create a bigger problem than I...
Yeah, if it is glued on there, you'd have to heat it up to...
Yeah, I mean, that makes absolutely no sense, but I'm not gonna try and take this neck off of that. I don't want to break a glue joint and then have finish come apart. You can imagine. So I'm just gonna end up taking some height off the saddle. But you don't have to. They make, in fact, I'll show you what they do is they send me these. These are shims.
Yeah.
So you got like a -6 and a -8, and they're all angles. If you look at them, how they're, you know. So you can put those in this, and then they actually make one that fits the shape of the heel of the neck. These are all. They're cut like this that fit there. And that's ingenious. I mean, but again, usually, and then you notice that those square ones, they have a hole in them. That's because the Allen key is behind the neck block. But anyhow, I mean, to change the neck angle on a Taylor guitar is nothing. I mean, it's just. But this one, I don't want to. I can fix it without having to do that, so that's why I'm quit long ahead. Create some problems that I don't need. And the string action is a little high because I just put a new pickup system in this thing today. The guy at the other shop cut the old pickup system out and didn't finish, didn't order him a new. Gave him the guitar back with all the wiring cut and all that. And it's just kind of sad that happened, but we'll make it right.
I'm gonna just look around a little more, Marshall. I don't be looking over your shoulder while you're trying to
That's
work
all
there.
right. I wish I could have got this off of here, but you can see the whole principle of it.
Yeah.
And this might be built, again, it's 1 year older than mine, and they may be constructing them differently. I've pulled the neck off of my guitar a few times. Just doing a
That's
refit.
quite a system.
Yeah, they did. This is, I mean, the other thing that makes me leery about it is that this decal was peeling off on one side like it had been off of there before. Forensic science tells me somebody else did something to this neck. And the fact that I can't move this and there's no screws coming up through the bottom, that's screaming somebody glued that on here instead of...
And there's no holes where screws.
There's nothing. Yeah, there's no screw holes. But there's that piece. It's like somebody took the neck off. They couldn't have done that because that piece of wood's underneath the top. It's in between the top of the guitar and the neck block. It's like at the Taylor factory. I wonder if this is a B. That could be. Like they messed up and corrected their mistake by having to glue this on. I don't know. It's amazing. I run to my end of my wits to try and figure out what's happened to.
So what's the vintage on this one? When
What's
was it made?
98. So, I mean, I think Taylor really started around late 80s, early 90s when they.
Yeah.
I know I saw Zach Wilde playing a Taylor, and that was I had to get one. That was it for me. It was like, if he's playing one, I gotta get one. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Man, I don't. So. Try and get that one. Let's put this back on. I do have enough room on this saddle to remove some material off of it and get the string action correct, but it's terribly high right now. Oh no. I just did that. Well, actually, that wasn't such a bad thing. You ever seen a Taylor with a glued-in on neck fingerboard?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is bolts, 2 bolts going into the neck heel, but this part's
It's glued on. Yeah, that's an older style.
yeah, 1 year older than my guitar, and that's what they did.
Yeah, they're really tough.
Yeah, I stopped.
Yep.
I didn't want to create more problem than. I got enough material I can. The string action's just really high on this one.
Yeah.
But I got enough saddle that I can. Huh.
Yep, I have seen them like that. Yeah, that was their original way, and then I think they decided, hey, this would be a great idea. Maybe if we bolt the other part on, like we bolt the board down.
Yeah. I have not. This is the first one I've seen like that, so it's probably the oldest one I've worked on.
Yep.
I'd have to say.
They've been around a while. Yours is fairly old, but yours is the more modern generation.
Yeah.
Style.
Yeah. This is a 98. Mine's a 99.
Yeah, that's that one.
That's when they.
Because I've seen from early, 90s that were just, yeah, glued and bolted on neck.
Yeah, glued and bolted.
Yep, you couldn't do any of it.
Well, this thing had, obviously the guy lost a few of the machine or the end pins, so it had plastic. Some of them were plastic and some of them were.
Something nice.
Yeah, so I went ahead and put some ebony pins on here for him.
Yeah, make it extra sweet,
Consistent. It had one of the original ones, I think, in it still.
You have a lesson on Tuesday with that old guy named Jerry?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, at one point he called and canceled his lesson, but then he called back and said he is going to be in town.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't know if he had got back with you or not, let you know that he is back in town and he said he would do his lesson, so.
He kind of shows up and he catches me from surprise.
He's a funny
Yep.
cat. Yep.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Very, very nice, cool guy, yeah.
Boy, he's trying. He's really hard on himself, though. It's like he feels like he should be able to own the guitar already, And
well, he's had a lot of hand problems and arm problems. And
yeah.
stuff.
Yep. Yeah, a little bit of health issues that are not. But I've tried to get him. He was using the Diodario fucking finger exerciser thing that destroys people's hands.
Yeah, the joint runner.
Yep. I told him, when you get home, throw that thing directly in the trash. It's proven that those things hurt your hands.
Yeah, movement is good, but moving under load is not good.
Well, and I asked my doctor one time, what can I do? And doc said, best exercise for your hand is squeeze a tennis ball.
Yeah, it's the ball. It's the joints working. Those spring-loaded boogers are a dirty dog.
Squeeze the tennis ball. Alright. Doggone it. Dagnabbit. Alright, you guys, this has gone on long enough, but you see you get the rest of this is gonna be it's January. Alright. Thank you, Hugh. I appreciate that. I don't have time to always look that stuff up. Yeah, the neck really could have used a shim, but I have enough height on the saddle that I can take enough off of that. And I'll just really quickly, our string action, well, it's 8/64, but before I do that, let's check the neck relief, because this thing could have a big old underbow in it, which could be causing part of the problem. Oh yeah. So I need to, I'm gonna do this real quick before I end my stream, because I'm gonna have to go get something to eat. But we'll see how much this corrects a little bit of the the string action here at the 12th. The neck relief is way too much, so this will help correct it a little bit. We'll get the neck relief correct, and then we'll do the string action with removing any material from the saddle. This is why following these order of operations is pretty important. Let's see, is this the right one? Nope. How about this? Is this the right one? Taylor, come on, baby. There we go. So we're gonna tighten that. Let's see what happens. How's that? How did that neck? Wow. Wow. This is an extremely sensitive truss rod, which is awesome. I like that. But I've gone too far. So that's not gonna, this isn't gonna change a whole lot. There we go. All right, so here we are, and I've got to remove some material off of the saddle. So we're currently, well, it's that little movement on the neck made a big difference, but we're at almost 7/64, and we're at 5/64 on the treble side, and I want to get 4/64 and 5/64 on the bass side. So I have plenty of room here. I need to remove 4/64, and I've got 12/64, and I need to remove 2/64 on this side, and I've got 8. So there's plenty of room and plenty of fall away. So I'm going to do something simple, and we'll finish this thing up and have it home hopefully before the end of the day. I sure do appreciate that, Hugh, and my knees hurt. Thank you again for your wonderful gift. Very kind of you. I'm gonna go home and eat, and this will end up on my bench or on my desk today. So thanks you guys for hanging with me today. I know it's been a bit of a long stream. So y'all have a really happy Monday, and we'll probably see you all I'll probably see you all live online someplace, somewhere, sometime soon, probably. All right, you guys. Peace.